Did you know back in 1845 that Steamboat was actually Texas? And every year for 22 consecutive years, they have sold out Steamboat Music Fest. It's going to sell out again. This is Bree Bagwell inviting you to the coolest music fest in Steamboat, Colorado. It happens every January. You've seen it. Have you not been? What are you waiting for? It is the original Texas Music Festival with over 50 bands in the Texas and Red Dirt music scene. You never know. Kevin Fowler might be just eating lunch next to you one day. With the Steamboat Music Fest package, you get 6 days of mountainside lodging, 4 days of lift passes, 1 night lift pass. Don't miss out. You're going to have so much FOMO if you're watching on social media. So just go to themusicfest.com, sign up for that email newsletter. You can get on the wait list. You never know. Steamboat Music Fest, down home, up high. Come get real with us. Steamboat Music Fest. Hey, this is Bree Bagwell with OnlyVans Podcast, and I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend time worrying about things like taxes and bookkeeping and the IRS. I'm from a family of accountants, so take my word for it. You need someone that is specialized in Texas taxes, and Lakeside Tax and Bookkeeping are pro QuickBooks advisors, and Stacey has been doing this for over 25 years. Girl knows what she's doing, and I just did all my sales taxes. Just trust me, get someone who knows what they're doing to help you. In addition, Stacey is an enrolled agent of the IRS. That sounds fancy because it is, and it means you won't be getting in trouble with the IRS. Go to lakesidetax.com today and sign up with my girl Stacey and get the IRS tax and bookkeeping help that you need. But when did you move there?
I moved there a couple years ago.
Okay,
when
we just missed each other then.
My wife and I got married. I was living in Austin, and it's very expensive to live in Austin.
Yep.
So it was getting to the point where we got to get a little bit outside of town. So
that's
we like
all
it
of
there.
us, which is so wild because it kind of pushed everyone south, and now we're all close to each other, which is fun.
We're not tech bros, so we can't afford Austin.
No.
But all the musicians now live anywhere between, I feel like Austin and San Antonio, so it's nice.
That's nice. Hey, everybody, this is Bree Bagwell, and this is my podcast, OnlyVans, where I talk to my friends in my van. I was at Lone Star Float House yesterday, and Terry from Lone Star Float House, he was our first podcast subscriber, and he pays us like $10 a month.
Nice.
Somehow. I don't even know how he figured out how to do that. I didn't even know you could subscribe monetarily to this podcast, but Terry, I appreciate it. But he came up yesterday and he goes, Bree, it should be longer than 30 minutes. That's what he said. He really wants it to be an hour.
He wants the Rogan experience, the 3-hour OnlyVans.
Can you imagine? Oh, wait. But I think, too, the thing that is, we're doing 3 today, back to back to back.
Wow.
So if I was talking for 3 hours, I would probably be brain dead. I
That would
already
be nuts.
say dumb enough stuff
Yeah.
without it being an hour long. So
It's going to be over an hour, and then eventually we're going to be like,
Yeah.
just the same questions.
Over and over.
So what's the record like? Yeah.
How'd you get started in music? Which is what I try to avoid, really.
Who's your favorite artist?
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
How
and you
much
do
time
so
we
many of them that you can I'm sure you know, but you can write a song in your head while you're doing a podcast because you know the answers.
Yeah. It's like, all right. I know the things to say here that are going to get the, okay. Because I've said them 100 times.
I know.
Then you got to get to the point where you're like, I have to say this like I'm not, I haven't said it a million times. You know? Like it's not just rehearsed at this point, which it is.
It is so rehearsed. And then you're like, what if people listen to this and listen to the other podcast and I said the same exact answer, but I think it's fine. But I remember doing radio tour with my first guitar player, Nathan. He went with me. And one time I looked over and he was mouthing my answer.
Oh my gosh. That's when you know it's bad. That's when you're like, I got to at least almost like a comedy set. I got to refresh this a little bit.
I have to rotate
change up the
jokes.
answer set list. Yeah.
And I remember one time my bass player and drummer, they had said can you mix it up? Because I introduced the songs the same. You cannot introduce the songs differently 150 nights a year.
Yeah. No. You got to stick with, I'm bad about just all right, I've got something that works before the song. I know, the perfect thing to say. And then sometimes I'll just blank on it. I'll just be like, or I'll say half of it, or I'll just be like, oh, this is, anyways, here we go. Just you get in your head sometimes in the middle of a set for whatever reason.
Right. Or I was in Amarillo on Friday, and Pat Green was also in Amarillo on Friday. And I had a blank moment because I was just so frustrated that we drove, 12 hours to... There's
Amarillo.
To 100 people, less than 100 people that were kind of giving me the West Texas stare. But the people that were there were having a the people that were there for me were awesome, and
Nice.
I loved them, and it was a great venue. But I looked over to the right, and there was a guy asleep in the booth. He was sleeping with his mouth open, like,
Just
and
like-
I was like,
Was this at Hoots? Where was
no,
it?
it's but Casey was there. It's at the Western Horseman Club.
Oh, okay.
It is an
Yeah.
awesome venue.
I'll check that out.
You should play
Huh.
there. It was awesome. And the next night, Clay Hollis played there, and he was like, yeah, they said, you just had an unlucky night because Pat was in town. But it
Yeah.
was a great venue. Casey was running sound, so you text him because
Okay.
it's a really good venue. And I wasn't bashing the venue at all. I was bashing the guy that was asleep in the
I
booth.
think you specifically, sir.
Yeah, I know. On the mic, I said, when he wakes up, he owes me $100 because I was, he didn't give me $100.
Better run to that merch booth.
Yeah, I know.
Clear
But
it out.
I'm so thrilled you're here. And I drove back from Amarillo and listened to your new record.
Thank you.
It is so good.
Thank you so much.
Tell
I
me-
appreciate it.
Because I read who produced it, but I don't remember.
Brian Douglas Phillips produced
Tell me
it.
more about that person.
Yes, Brian, that person, he is awesome. He has a studio up in North Austin. It's called Rattle Trap Audio, which is basically his garage, but it's so cool. He's done a great job with it. He produced guys like Rob Baird and David Ramirez and guys like that. Just
Cool.
So I was looking for producers and looking specifically in Austin. And I was like, I really like, being buddies with Rob, and like Bauman's done some stuff with him too. Being buddies with them, I reached out to them. I was like, I like this guy's just sensibilities with his production, and it's kind of exactly what I'm looking for with these songs and with this record. So I hit him up, and we wrote 2 of the songs that are on the album too.
Which ones?
We wrote My Rolling Stone and
Yes.
Seems Like Lonesome.
Oh my gosh, those are probably 2 of my favorites.
There you go.
They're so good. I mean, it's a
Thank
wide
you.
range of sounds because it is very, like that could be like classic country, sounds like Lonesome. I mean, like that could
Yeah.
be like that type of song all the way to Rolling Stone, like and everything in between. But it's a very cool sounding record. I wouldn't
Thank
say.
you.
I think it sounds just like very hip and unique and not. I don't want to say this in a bad way, but not in the Texas box,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I've never really wanted to, whatever that box is, because even that box is, there's multiple boxes, I feel like. But, especially with this record, I was like, I'm going to do something that, like, I want my sound to be pretty much. I've always had, like, it's funny, with my first record, I made it when I was 20 years old, had no idea what I was doing. But there was a lot of, like, obvious passion and fire behind it. It's the first time you're recording ever,
Yeah.
You're like, I want to get this done, and I want to do this way, and you have a lot of opinions as to how you want to do it. Then you get into, like, the process of making records, and you make a couple more singles here and there, an EP, and you're like, I want to go back to that feeling of just, like, kind of, not necessarily me calling all the shots, but just, like, taking less of the people around me's opinion and more of, like, this is what I want this to be. I just wanted to make a record that I would be like, this sounds awesome for whoever,
I love that. And it is very interesting because you have to find a producer who lets you do
can do that.
But also you have to know enough to know what you want. Because I went through that same kind of thing too, where in the middle of, I was kind of like listening to everyone around me more than myself because but you're
It's
also
easy to do.
learning. And
Yeah,
you're like,
'cause you are learning.
and I'm like, I don't know about drum sounds, or I don't know about, and then you reach a point where you kind of turn a corner and you're like, oh, I do know what all these different things
Yeah.
are, and I have someone that I trust, but they also trust me. So that's so fun to hear that you were super involved in, like, and it was everything that you wanted it to be.
It was great. And I think writing with the producer helped a ton too, because those
I do
are
that
the
too.
only 2 songs that we wrote, and they're great. They made the record, and we were just immediately, that's a good way to just click with the person you're about to make a record with and be like, all right, if we can do this, and we're both like on a hell yeah page about these songs together, then we're gonna have that same energy going into the recording process and producing it together and everything.
Yeah, there was 8 songs, right?
8 songs.
And then did you write the other ones by yourself? Or
So
you co-wrote?
all the other tunes are, it's interesting because each song is me and another writer, and it was like the first record that I didn't really do that on purpose. It was just kind of like every song it's just a co-write with someone else. And it was really just because they were songs that I reached out to, Ben Danaher's got a couple of them. I love writing with Ben. It's the
I
best.
cannot say enough good things about that
He's
person.
awesome.
Yeah.
And he's moving back to Texas too.
Get
Yes,
what?
I
Is
think
that
I can
an
tell people that.
exclusive Ben Danaher?
I think I can tell people that, right, Ben?
What, Ben? Well, this won't come out for a while, so we'll text him and make sure. If not, we can just be
There
like
you
Ben
go.
Danaher,
It's
beep, and
just a
it'll be
long
like
beep.
an exclusive.
Yes,
What?
I'm super excited about that because every time I would go up to Nashville and write with Ben, we wrote like "Love Ain't Done a Damn Thing" together, which is one of my
yeah.
like biggest streamers, and people love that tune. So it's
I didn't
like,
know that was with Ben.
yeah, every time we write together, I'm like, this is like, there's something there between the two of us, or just like, I don't know.
You both love sad songs.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it for sure. But you know this. I mean, when you write with someone, you have those people that you're just like, I love writing with that person. Every time I write with them, it's great. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. You know.
That's awesome. Okay, so Ben, well, and I have, you know, what's crazy is I've never written with Ben Danaher. And when I was in college in Austin, my very first residency or whatever is I opened for Ben Danaher and Ryan Beaver on Monday nights.
Sweet.
For $50 at the Mother Egan's Irish Pub, not including food or drinks, but
of course.
It was a great gig.
You're
I
asking
mean,
too much with food and drinks.
Right, but I was like, these two people are amazing, and then they've both gone on to just be some of my favorite writers.
Oh yeah,
it's so awesome.
Absolutely,
killing it.
Yeah.
Okay, who else did you write with?
I wrote "How to Love You" with Jacob Stelly, who is awesome. Another kind of younger guy. We wrote
Jacob's
that same-
incredible.
He is.
He's in my songwriting group right now. I keep interrupting you, but this
No,
is my
you're good.
podcast. I do what I want. But
yeah, exactly.
no, Jacob. So Jacob was in my songwriting group that I do, and it's a song due every 2 weeks and not every single week. And I texted him and I said, "Dude, you are writing great. Like, I am so blown away by his writing. Like, the stuff that he was writing in the group is really good. So that's awesome." But he missed the deadline the other night, and he texted me the next day and said, and I felt very special because it was before social media, but he said, "I'm sorry I missed the deadline. This is what I did." And he had just proposed.
Oh,
so he missed the
Jacob.
songwriting. Yeah, Jacob, you
congrats
cutie.
to Jacob.
Yeah,
That's
congrats.
right. I did see that.
But I just think he's so talented. So, but also, do you want to be in my songwriting group?
I would love that. I was just about to say invite. No.
Yeah, no. Well, two
No, I
people
love
dropped
that.
out. One of them was Polly, and I'm calling him out on the. He dropped out this last week, so there's a spot open if you want it.
Where's he at?
He's mowing the grass, I think, or he might be waiting until
I'll take
we're
Paul's
done.
spot. Let's
Okay,
go.
perfect. Okay,
No, that'd
so
be great. I appreciate that a ton.
Jacob Stelly, Ben Danaher. This is amazing.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
who
and then
else?
I've got Ben Chapman on the song Still Loves Me in the Morning. Got Josh Greider on Southern Comfort. That's, I think, the oldest song on the record. It's either that one or the other one I haven't listed, Where Do You Go, which I wrote with Jay Knowles, which is pretty awesome. Jay is...
I don't know, Jay. Tell me who
He's
that
one
is.
of the co-writers on She'll Leave You With a Smile.
Ah.
And interesting enough, that was the very first song that anybody told me that I had a good voice, because I was in a classroom trying to set the scene. I was in like 7th or 8th grade, and this girl was sitting in front of me, and we were in like one of the teachers' classes, like the cool teachers that would just play the radio, like in the classroom
Oh, I
or whatever.
love those teachers.
Yeah, they're the best.
They're
So
drinking. They got vodka in their.
they
no,
might,
I'm just kidding.
you know.
I'm joking.
Yeah, some of my teachers probably,
Mm-hmm.
but we they had just the country station playing Kicks 108. Shout out Victoria, Kicks 108, the premier country radio station in the Victoria area, and She'll Leave You With a Smile was on, and I was just kind of singing along to it to myself, probably like copying off somebody's homework, and she turns around as I'm doing this, and with like, she just had this really, her name's McKenna Green, I'm gonna call her out too, she still follows me, with this very like thick southern accent. She goes, "You got a pretty dang good voice." And I was like, that's cool, no one's ever told me that before. I'm catch myself just singing along to the song, and then from then on, you know, obviously start taking that compliment. You're like, I guess we better start singing more. I guess we better learn how to play guitar. And when I wrote the song with Jay and found out that he was one of the co-writers, I told that story in like the Instagram caption that I took a picture with him and everything. And it was such a full circle moment. And to have that song on the record is super special.
That
too.
is like the definition of a full circle moment.
Yeah, it was cool.
I love that. This is not a full circle moment. This is like a half circle moment from me to you. I'm
like
in
a
the
180.
Victoria Mall. Have you ever been in?
I
like
haven't been to the Victoria Mall in a while, but that's pretty awesome.
I played the Boot Fest or
Yeah.
whatever. And my friend Danny Vivian took a photo of me.
Danny's awesome.
Danny,
Yeah.
I'm sure you know Danny. And it's like a giant picture of me in the Victoria Mall, which is hilarious. Because
Where is it? Where's it at?
It's
Do you know?
like in one of the entrances.
It's just one of the entrances.
It's
I'm
like
gonna have to.
on the wall. They have, I guess. Okay, it's not just it's not just Brie Bagwell mural. It's like a bunch of
It
photos.
might as well. It sounds like it's a Brie Bagwell mural.
But I get so many pictures of people being like, so I just stopped in Dillard's in Victoria, and like you're on the mall
Okay,
here.
I know exactly where it is now. Then okay,
Yeah.
next time I go to mom and dad's house, make a stop
Will
at
you
the mall.
please stop at the mall
Look
and be
for
like,
it.
what is Brie Bagwell doing here? But I do love Victoria. Like Moonshine Drinkery is
Oh yeah,
awesome.
first place I ever got up and played some
What?
songs.
Is
yeah.
it your first?
It had just opened, and I was, they were doing like an open mic night. I mean, like Pablo and
Yep.
guys like that. Dustin started out in Victoria, so all those guys and like the Stout Brothers, they would just do stuff there and be like, "Hey, well, here's an open mic night. Hey, come on up and do this." They were just super inviting of anybody around town that could play because it was rare that you could even play a guitar in Victoria.
Do
so-
anything in Victoria.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so wild because, well, I remember I was playing Moonshine and this, curly-headed, big, sweet marshmallow man came up to me and he said, I play steel guitar. If you ever need steel guitar. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet that you think I can afford another person in my band. But and then not long after that, I remember him messaging me and saying he got a gig and then he was with Mickey. And so we
Pablo's
love you,
the best.
Pablo. Every time I play in Victoria, I've always, you got Pablo's shirt on.
Look at that, the Pablo shirt.
That's amazing. I didn't know. Did I know Dustin Schaefer was from there? Is he from there?
He is. Yeah, he's from there.
He was on the pod. He's
He
a wild
is
man.
from there. Yeah, he is. He's fun, and it's a great place to grow up. But obviously, one of those towns, like everybody, if you want to do it for real, you gotta get out of there
Yeah.
and move somewhere up around here.
And now you live Butte, Kyle.
Mhm.
I love that area. I lived there for a little while.
Yeah,
But
it's
when
great.
did you move there?
I moved there a couple years ago.
Okay,
when
we just missed each other then.
my wife and I got married. I was living in Austin, and it's very expensive to live in Austin.
Yep.
So it was getting to the point where like we gotta get a little bit outside of town. So we
That's
like
all
it
of
there.
us, which is
Yeah.
so wild because it kind of pushed everyone south, and
Yeah.
now we're all close to each other, which is fun.
We're not tech bros, so we can't afford Austin.
No.
But all the musicians now live anywhere between, I feel like Austin and San Antonio, so it's nice.
That's nice. Hey, this is Brie Bagwell, and if you want to listen to this podcast early and ad-free, subscribe to my Patreon at www.patreon.com/Brie Bagwell. Are you ready to take your merchandise to the next level? Well, just ask me who I use, and that is CH Lone Star Promo. They specialize in screen printing and direct-to-garment, embroidery, laser engraving, anything promo related, they can do it. Step up your merch game now with CH Lone Star Promo and tell them Brie and Whiskey sent you. You need to come to our music couples therapy. Josh Greider's in it.
That sounds like a blast.
It's
That sounds
super
like there's
fun.
a lot of good ammo for sad songs.
It's the best. And well, it's a free place to vent. Like I was just talking to Ryder about something, and he's so sweet because he's young and he's like, I feel bad even saying this, but, and he prefaced everything like, I'm grateful, but, and I'm like, no, this
Yeah.
is a safe space, but you can't vent to everybody. So we kind of have formulated this group where it's Rachel Loy, my producer, Brian
Uh-huh.
Keene, and then the Greiders, the Kennedys, Johnny
Nice.
Chops and Andy, Adam Oder and Darby come sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
and it's so much fun because it's just a place where you can go talk about music and you don't have to preface it with like, I should be grateful, but
Yeah.
it's like,
That's
no.
important. That's honestly, that's cool.
Having your tribe.
Have to swing in there. Yeah, exactly.
We would love
There's
it.
a lot of talent in that circle,
Well, thank you.
in that therapy circle. I love it.
Yeah, we named it Music Couples Therapy, but we just try to get together once a month. So I'll let you know next time so
That's
you can come
fun.
hang with us because
For sure.
the circle gets, I always feel, and I don't even know why if I even told my producer I feel like this, but sometimes I feel like there's a lot of cliques and I feel like I'm not a part of any of them. But that's not true.
No,
That's just
yeah.
how I feel.
Right.
So she said, let's just create our own. And then, now we do that once a month. So
It can be like that with as an artist and everything like that. It's like it's one of the most rewarding as far as like the amount of people that you get to know and meet, and no matter what, through music, through just your fans, through the people that come to your shows. And then sometimes it can just like feel really lonely for a few spells, and it's like, oh man, am I like a real person? And then you got
know.
it's a weird back and forth. For
that's,
sure.
yeah. These are questions we actually ask ourselves as musicians. Like, am I a real person?
It's becoming a therapy podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
We're not going to help you do anything, but
No,
we're going
but
to
we'll
tell
complain.
you. Yeah, we'll just complain, and that's our therapy. I'm so glad you found your person. Like, Kelly's awesome because,
She's the best.
and she is the best, and I'm happy for you because it is such a hard. I mean, I found it too, and I feel very lucky, and I feel bad for anybody that hasn't found it. But like, stick in there, you'll find your person.
Yeah.
But to be able to do what we do with the support of somebody is just like,
It's
invaluable.
big. I mean, we have a kid, little 15-month-old boy. It's like there's so many moments where I'm just like, my gosh, am I doing the right thing here to steer the ship, and to have that person, my wife specifically, that's like, no, keep going, you got it, we believe in you. It's the most important thing, especially when you have a lot more responsibility and you're like, should I be doing this? It's important to have someone to tell you, no, keep going, we believe in you, versus maybe you should hang it up,
Right. Or you feel guilty being gone. I
Yeah.
mean, I pulls it out. I don't have my own child. I mean, this is my fur child, but
I love it.
she goes with me.
I love her.
But it's definitely, she's very sweet. But there definitely is the thing of, you want to have both lives, and it feels like probably a trade-off sometimes being gone. But that's the only way to do it. You can't delegate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Can't be in two places at once, and sometimes you wish you could.
Do you love being a dad?
I love it. It's the best. On the flip side, it makes everything harder, but it makes everything so much more rewarding.
Yeah.
And like, we just had our album release show, and we had it at Antone's. That was scary. That was like, this is a huge venue. This is big for me and like for us and everything like that. This is a big leap we're taking. We pushed it hard. It was like one of the most effort I've ever put into like just promoting anything that we've ever done. And I was just hoping and praying that half of the room would be full. And then by the time we were there and we had Jordan Matthew Young opening up the show, who's great, the guys were coming in the green room going, it's pretty full out there. I was like, ooh, I'm not going to even look at the crowd until I'm walking on stage. And as soon as I did, I see that place packed from front to back. Antone's iconic venue. I walk on the stage, I'm like, whoa, let's go. And it was just the best experience I ever had.
That gives me goosebumps for you.
It was awesome.
That is the best. And it's sad to me that the first thing that I thought of was one of my old bass players who now plays guitar for a big artist. Anyway, I love him, so I'm not talking total trash. But we were in somewhere super, just a corner of Texas that I've never been to. But I had gone to have like some wine with a friend before, and he said, "Well, you better hurry. It's gonna be hard to get through the crowd." And I was like, "Hell yeah, let's go!"
Nice.
He was lying. There was nobody there.
There's no one there.
And I was like, "Not funny, Jared French. That was not a good
crowd.
joke. You can't do that to your lead singer."
I was excited for you. I got led down with it. I was like,
I know.
Oh.
I saw your eyes go like, yeah, there's nothing better. Because that is a good feeling when the band's like, it's looking good out there. And you're like, yeah.
But to bring it back. So, those kind of moments even feel that much more rewarding when you are like, you just have some more responsibility attached to it. You got a kiddo that you eventually want to make proud of you. And when they're cognizant enough to figure out what dad does and everything. And it's a blast. And it makes things very rewarding for sure.
It's very fun. I got to go with Sierra to go see her dad play at Green Hall. And she was like, because they don't see, they don't get to see what they do. And so she was just like, that's my dad. I was like, oh no, it's very cool.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's going to be so good. Do you have some baby headphones?
Yes, we already do. And
Great.
he's broken them out. He doesn't like them. He starts moving them. He's only been to a couple shows just because they're bars and, there's not a lot of opportunity for it to sneak a baby through the bar. When you get to like elite headliner status and you see it, like you'll see people like they'll bring their babies in the bar. Like, it's my show. Let's go. I just sold out Green Hall or wherever. But it's funny because he's only been to a couple of shows, and one was Sam's Burger Joint, and it gets loud in there, and he's got his little headphones on and everything, and he keeps trying to knock them off. I can see him trying to knock, and Kelly going like, "Stop, put them back on." So, it's a fun experience.
So cute. Well, Whiskey has headphones. That's ridiculous, but
she does,
and she will leave them on if it's loud.
What
do
they look? What do they look like? How?
They look like baby headphones. Like, they're
Really?
hilarious. They were $72 or something.
No.
So yeah, I think they're more expensive than baby headphones.
Whiskey, next time stay home.
I know. Listen, you can't go to my shows anymore. Wait. So how do you know the Texas Hill Country Provisions people?
So I was one of the first people that did their chill country sessions that they're doing, which is awesome. And they've been doing a great job at that, and just the production of it, just the whole like just motivation they have behind that has been really cool. And right when they were starting to do that, they were just reaching out to artists and stuff like that. And I knew somebody, and I can't remember exactly who, that knows Madison, the owner of Texas Hill Country Provisions, really well. And we just got linked up, and they've been a huge help, and they've really believed in my stuff. I got
They
to send
love
them,
you.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I
They
love
really-
them. And that when I met them, they were like, Mason's our dude. Like, they
They're
love
cool.
you so much.
They're so awesome.
Aw.
And they got to be one of the sponsors. They were kind enough to be one of the sponsors of the event for the album release show, and they helped get the word out there and
Oh.
everything. It was really nice.
Yeah, shout out. They should sponsor this, but no, I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Let's go,
Everybody. That was a
THC.
joke. No, we will give them shout outs because they gave us a bunch of stuff. And I have their sticker on my cup right there. But
They're great.
I wear their stuff all the time because it's just like really classy looking stuff.
And they believe in artists, which is always the coolest thing too.
Yeah.
They don't have any gain for just pushing Texas music, but they do it because they love it.
They love it, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna you come here. We're gonna make it look great, sound great, and we're gonna put all this social media content out for you." And I'm like, "What's the catch?" And they're like, "There's no catch."
and you're gonna leave with
just love it.
like 6 T-shirts. Dallas
Yeah.
Burrow just walked in.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. Do you know Dallas?
Oh, yeah, I know. What's
Okay.
up, brother?
Of course you know. You can come. Do you want to come hang out in here? Oh, Dallas with his cool clothes on.
DB.
He's the coolest.
What's
no,
up, man?
you're totally
You're good.
fine. If anyone can interrupt this podcast, it's you.
There you go.
If you want to come stand on here, it's if you want. Okay, yeah, we're almost
Sounds
done,
good,
so
man. Good seeing you, brother.
I think.
I'll just give him the mic. Like,
yeah, it's like one long
be
episode.
like, okay, thank you so much for having me.
Then I could tell Terry you finally got your hour-long episode. Okay, that's so awesome. I'm so happy. So the new record, it's only 10 days old right now, but by the
It
time this
is.
comes out, it's probably gonna be like a month old. So like, what is your, if you don't mind me asking, what does your business at this point look like as far as your team? Like, do you have a manager? Or do you have just booking? Like,
Yeah.
what does your team look like? Because it's different for everybody, and I love telling people because everyone is always like, I have to do this and I have to do this. I'm like, actually, you don't. There's a bunch of us that do it different
Yeah,
ways.
everyone does have a very
Yeah.
different way of doing it. So I just have management right now. We don't have booking, but we do a lot of just the booking ourselves. And Adam Oder is my manager with Space Colonel. And
Did I not know this?
I don't know, but he and Kimberly Wooten, they are with Space Colonel, and they both manage me, and they do an incredible job.
I didn't know that.
It's still pretty new, but
So that's interesting because I would assume that he would produce your stuff, but then he doesn't care.
well,
if you
it was
go-
he said nah. No, I finished the record after. So when
see.
I made the record, I finished the record before I got on with Adam. I made the record with absolutely nothing but myself doing everything at that point, and I was like, this is a really good record. I'm just going to shop it around to people I know, see
Yeah.
if they dig it, and just see what happens. And I sent it to Adam, and he's like, dude, I love this. It was just before it was even mastered, just the mixes and everything. I love this. Let's go. And
really
ever since
good.
then, it's been a great partnership.
Dang. Well, that is awesome. I mean, Adam's one of my favorite people on the whole
He's
planet.
incredible. He and
he's-
Darby. And
yeah.
Darby's like any day now.
She
Baby.
gonna have baby. You guys
Yeah.
are gonna have little babies together.
That'll be
Well,
fun.
that's so fun. I love that. Well, I was looking at because I remember that your self-titled record. I don't remember what year that was. That was a Wade Bowen, Justin Pollard production.
Wade and Justin, 2021. Yeah.
2021. Okay,
Mhm.
that's kind of what I thought it was around. But Justin Pollard is producing some really great stuff. I know he does all John Stork's stuff.
I think so, yeah.
But he is a really great option for people that are like, who should I get to produce my record? I think he's doing some really great stuff.
Yeah, he and Wade came together on that record, and they did a fantastic job. It was my first time, like, having, like, all the cooks in the kitchen, you know, and as far as a record goes, and it was great. I mean, I wrote Something About a Southern Girl with Wade Bowen and Drew Kennedy, and so that
Nice.
became him eventually being the co-producer with Justin, and he was like the producer until it was like, I need to bring someone else on, like a more, experienced producer, and Justin was his guy. So they
That's
did a killer job
awesome.
with that, for sure.
Wow. Well, wonderful. And you're just hitting the road hard. And I love, like, you. I was going to say, you remind me a lot of me. Like, you work so hard and you do so many things yourself. I was about to give
We're
myself
pretty
a
great.
bunch of compliments.
We'll pat each other on the back here and say we do a pretty good job. We're hard workers.
But we do. We do a lot
do.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And whenever I see you, like, you're doing it, you're hustling, but you, like, everything that you do really gets, not that your stuff is bad, but everything you do seems to be better and better, and
No,
your writing is
I
getting,
love hearing
it's
that.
amazing.
I love when people notice that, because it's true. It's like the con of going into this thing not really knowing what you're doing is you don't know what you're doing on all fronts. You're kind of good at singing and writing songs, so you're like, I don't know if it gets any better than this when you're, first starting out. But then the more you do it, and the more you find your sound, the more you, I guess, the more experience you get, the more you're confident in what you're doing, and you know exactly where you want to go.
Yeah, you settle in, and
Yeah.
you know more about, and you're writing with amazing people, and your writing's getting better. And that's when people tell me, your writing on this last record has gotten so much better. It's like, well, that's how it should be, because if I'm not getting better, then I'm getting worse. And
Yeah.
so that's what I mean, I've just always been a fan, but I thought, this last record is just really exceptional. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm super proud of it.
Good.
And hoping it continues to check along. And I'm excited to hear what you got coming up.
Oh, thank you. Well, this isn't about me, but let me tell you everything that happened.
I'm gonna start interviewing you now.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Perfect. Well, we got this podcast on a big network on Bluegrass Situation on Good Country.
Congrats.
Thank you. So a lot more people will get to hear this episode. So you
That's so
waited
cool.
till the appropriate time to get on this podcast.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Yes, we got some advertising. We got sponsors. We got Whiskey has our own camera. Like, what more do you want from me? OnlyFans fans.
OnlyFans. I literally kept saying, I'm going on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Your wife's like,
What?
we have a baby.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. And why do you, diapers ain't cheap when more you rack them up.
That's
so.
right. We
Let's
should
go.
put our feet on this camera right now. Ooh,
The boots. Is there a boots category?
Listen, I think we could do that for you for some diapers. But the best way to do it is just go stream that new record and get that streaming money and go see Mason Lively and his amazing band at a live show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
you.
so much.
Thanks for being here. We got Dallas Burrow coming up next whenever that airs. I got to go change my outfit so people don't think I do 3 in 1 day.
Like it's not a revolving door.
Right. Even though I tell everyone I just do 3 in 1 day,
Yeah.
I still make it look
You still
like
got
a-
it. I get that.
Well,
Completely.
I got my pack mule hat on. I'm trying to get those sponsors. So
Exactly.
thank you for being here. Be safe. Give that baby a kiss.
Thank you so much for having me, Bree.
Yeah, of
Appreciate
course.
it.
High five.
Might be time to cut some ties from what's trying to weigh